Hello everyone, it's He Who Is Seth here, and today we're talking with a past EQOA player, Chris Allen. How's it going, Chris?
Good. How's everything going with you?
It's going well. I just got done playing a board game with my family, so ready to...
Oh, that's always fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. So today I wanted to talk about what past memories really affected you, like what makes EQA so special, and what impacted you that is like long lasting, makes it something that you'll never forget.
I think one of the best moments that I have, and I never would have thought about this from playing the game, and I use a lot of this in every day, even with who I am. But I think it was eventually making my own guild. Not to say that I was in any bad guilds or anything like that, but just wanting to take on my own guild, take on the challenge of trying to get people together, inspire people for a common goal, and just see if we could actually do different things. I was a guild leader for quite some time on Castle Lightwolf, but I think one of the things that's helped me on who I am today is just the leadership skills that I was able to develop from everything. You figure we were all kids when we started out that game, but from there we grew with the game and changed with the game as well. So one of the best memories that I have is just bonding with my guild and having those guild meetings, doing those raids, and killing those bosses that we planned days, months, and years to kill.
Wow, that's true. I mean, it really builds character skills in a time when, as a child, you may not have opportunity to learn these kind of concepts except in this sort of circumstance. It's really a unique thing. So, like, what kind of responsibilities did the guild leader have?
Basically, I try to plan bi-weekly or monthly meetings just to basically set what our goals were. If we wanted to schedule certain raids on a night, back then there wasn't just like WoW where you could queue in and you were at the boss. You had to progress, log out to save everyone where they're at, or just stop at a point so everyone could get back on the next night to try to keep going. But I remember doing different things to plan who would be on, what we would go kill, how far we would go, just so we could accommodate for everyone's schedule. So mainly just a lot of planning, and then once we finally did get to our destination, we'd have to plan where our healers went, where our damage went, where our tank went, just so we could do our best to... I think the best one that we did was Kazakh Thule, and then a lot of Bertoxulus raids, so just a lot of different things.
Nice. That's awesome, man. So it sounds like it must have taken a lot of time of your own personal time, just like planning this stuff too.
Yeah, I remember having a notebook and a binder of different things, different strategies. I worked a lot with different friends, and back then we didn't really use TeamSpeak or anything like that. We used cell phones, we used landlines and everything like that where we could. But I remember having our bi-weekly meetings with the entire guild, but I pretty much have weekly meetings with top people in the guild as well, just to plan different things from recruiting to best times for raid strategies and different things like that.
Very cool. So what like memories from the guild do you have? Like, do you remember any particular funny or intense situations that happened or anything like that?
I think a good memory is when or right around when Frontiers came out, when we were camping to get our plane of Skyport, all of those different dragons and different mobs that you had to get. I think, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, Siliskor, that dragon in Elephant Graveyard. We finally got everything together to spawn the dragon, because you had to go through that, that pop-up quest and whatnot. And it was a little easier since we were higher level, but still with the Siliskor the thing is, he debuffed your HP, I think it was, to about 700, 800. So everyone was nerfed during that raid. And we had just enough people to kill it, but the only thing is that we didn't have any healers on at the time to spawn him. So you would wait for a certain thing to spawn, I think it was. And one of my friends, we called him Monkey. He had different tunes and whatnot, but he was the alt person. He would always create alts, never had a 50, never had a 60. He would always make those alts just to play different alts. And he stepped up and said, you know what, I have a level 24 shaman. And we're thinking, okay, here we're killing a 50-something dragon. Is this doable? Well, the thing is, when your HP is debuffed that much, anyone can heal on that dragon. So even a lone shaman's heals, we were able to get through it. And I just think it was funny, even pulling in our lowest person on the totem pole to help with such a big task was pretty awesome.
Wow. I bet he felt good. That was his moment to shine.
Oh yeah, it was, because he would always try to go on the raids, never had a top character, but that was his moment to help us get what we needed.
Monkey. We'll never forget Monkey, will we?
Yeah.
Are you friends with, were any of the people friends in real life that were in the guild with you?
Originally, no. I connected with a lot of people after the game. I still talk to some people after the revival came out and whatnot. Never really met anyone from the game specifically, but playing the game, I was able to become this person, become this leader, and have people follow me and trust me. So a lot of relationships were developed from playing. A lot that I miss, a lot that I want to go on, but yeah, a lot of changes from before starting playing the game.
Very cool. Are you still friends with anyone from that time, or did your connections die with the game?
A lot of them died with the game. I quit probably 6 months before the servers went down. Life got away from me. I tried playing different things. I've reconnected with a lot of people from the game. I'll get on the different pages and say who I am, what class I was, and everything. People will remember my name, remember the times we had. So it's good to connect with people again. But yeah, there's a lot of different relationships that, if I were to go back, I wish I would have taken the time to get their numbers, get their names and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it always feels like something that you could just get back on and play, but then you realize that it's gone. It's a bummer.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I have dreams where I'm putting the disc into the PlayStation and logging back on, and even hoping, will my stuff be there when I log back on? Will all the items be there that I worked so hard to get? And with those things, we tried so hard to get the best gear, get the best robes, get the best armor, but in the end, we weren't able to take any of it with us.
Except for the leadership skills, of course.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's great, man. It's awesome to hear how it helped you. I mean, games, people think sometimes that they have negative effects, but I think there's a lot of positive effects that people overlook like that.
Yeah, I agree. And there was a study done, I think it was about early 2010s, where a lot of top companies and CEOs were hiring different people that played MMOs and things like that, different guild leaders, because those were the ones that had the best drive, ambition, and could lead other people to accomplish these goals. I don't know if you remember, there was a commercial out around when EverQuest was out, and this guy goes in to apply for a job, and something, I forget what it was, but he said like 23 Paladin on there. And that just reminded me of everything, because, that's who I am, I was this warrior, I was this defender.
Awesome. So true. So, is there anything else you remember in particular that you want to share with everyone?
I remember a lot of different times, I missed a lot of the events. As much as we always wanted our GMs there more, I remember a lot of different times that they actually were. There were times where I remember different GMs popping in just to see how everyone was doing, and we looked up to these people, you know, these game masters, and with their swords and different things. Anymore with games, you know, there's events. WoW has their holiday events and whatnot, but there wasn't that actual human connection where these people were real people too. You know, I saw videos that when the game was going down of different GMs hopping on and turning people into dragons and doing different things, and I just wish that the story was able to go on. I was a beta player and then got it when it first came out. I was a Frontiers beta player and just wanted to know more about this history, about this world that I fantasized about. Just because we were able to escape, you know, we were kids, we were able to go on these adventures, finishing someone's epic quest for one weapon. We had to gather 30, 40 people. We may have not known all of them, but we were all there to kill one specific thing. And I just think games anymore, they're so streamlined where they're making them too easy because everyone complained. Because I remember going to kill Khazak-Thul, and there were some times where we didn't leave with anything. You know, a boss would drop 3 to 4 items and the lucky winner would leave with a better piece of armor, and everyone else just went for the ride.
It's funny because I think that our generation, I mean, I'm assuming we're close to the same age.
Yeah.
We're used to like that level of difficulty, and kids these days are not, and I think that most of them just will not play. They'll just give up and that's it. It's like where we kept going, they'll look to either guides or they'll just, you know, it's already so easy because they've watered it down, or they just quit. It's weird. It's like the true gaming generation, in my opinion,
is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember there weren't guides. The only guide that we had for EverQuest was 2 books, one tiny little centimeter thick book and another Bible-esque book. We had the internet, but there really wasn't Googling much. The quest information we had because we wrote it down and passed it to our peers. And the tricks we knew we learned from failure, ultimately. We always ran through the game and thought about secrets and hints and stuff that could be in the game, but just like I can remember when Plane of Disease came out, we would always think a good example is you kill, I forget where it was at the end of the Plane of Disease, but there was this area where you would kill one lower mob to spawn another mob, which would eventually spawn a boss, and you needed to do that 4 times to get your quest done. And the thing is that we learned that by trial and error. There was no guide or anything.
Jeez, that's rough, man. That's rough. So you said you were in beta. I mean, I should have known, but how did you get into that circumstance to be able to do that?
So originally I played EverQuest 1, and there had been an email sent out by Sony to some of us telling us about this new game that was coming out, that it was set in the past and it was with EverQuest. And I jumped the first time I got that because I enjoy playing console games, and I enjoy being able to play that style of game with the controller, with the keyboard. So I wrote them back, and I got a disc in the mail to try. And when that came out, they had already, I think it was 2nd or 3rd stage beta originally. But I remember when I first started playing, nameplates were different. I think the compass was different as well. But from there, it was basically just running around doing things. There really wasn't any sort of structure or guide when I started. But it was just a group of people messing around on a game.
So you were the original the OG EQOA player.
Yeah, yeah. When I look back at it, I'd played for a long time after I quit, and then I then played Frontiers beta as well. So I'm not sure if I remember exactly how we got the discs for those, but I think it was something along the same lines where we replied to some sort of email, and then we got the disc in the mail, and we were that's when Frontiers was before Frontiers came out. So that's how I got involved in that second one as well.
That must have been exciting because, I mean, nowadays it's like you win, you get like a CD key and you enter it and you download the game, but to actually get like a physical disc in the mail,
it was like a golden ticket. Yeah, it was the golden ticket where you put it in, you'd wait for it to load up, you'd wait for your updates, and then you hopped in. And Frontiers especially, new graphics. I remember leaving Freeport and just seeing the sand, the sand and the wind blowing around. We didn't have any sort of weather or texture things like that. Seeing the different robes, the different patterns, and the different weapons. There was a lot of just new things that were coming at us. Because I remember when I started playing EverQuest, we didn't even have like dots on the compass. It was just a compass. And then eventually later on, they started adding dots on there so you could find your group members. But I remember once I actually got the official game, I was playing, I made a human warrior. So I was over in Kinos. And then I got lost. So basically, I ran as far north as I could and wound up in Hollis. But the problem is I didn't remember how to get back. And the maps that we had were hand-drawn maps.
yeah.
And I never made it back. I wound up in Darver Manor, probably around level 25, but didn't get back to Kinos until probably about 30 because I just didn't remember where to go. And coaches, you remember talking to a guy, but you don't really fully understand what's going on. Just like a lot of people added to charisma because they thought the mobs would attack them less.
Oh, totally. I had similar experiences just running and just getting lost, and you end up surrounded by, creatures that are gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of exciting, It's exciting to like have this giant world and actually have the ability to be lost.
Yeah. And I think that's what I enjoyed about it the most, because there were your quests, of course, and whatnot, but there was no real set story. You could create your own and create your own path.
So true. So, are you excited for EQOA Revival? Are you following that progress and whatnot?
Yeah, I've been following them for quite some time now. I haven't helped as far as coding or anything like that. I followed them and provided support where I can, if it's identifying something or answering a question here and there. I was really big on writing a lot of quests down and whatnot, so I have a pretty big library with some other friends that I've connected with. So we have a lot of different things, tactics, raid tactics and whatnot. But I enjoy every post they put up there and every moment they share. Would I like to see the game come back? Of course I would. Would it be the same? No. The game, our past is what makes us who we are today. Would I play it the same? No. Would I play it smarter? Of course. But I would enjoy every moment of just reliving those raids, farming those items that we spent hours on farming. So I would like to see it come up someday. I'll wait however long it takes. But yeah, I enjoy every moment that anybody shares on the Revival page.
Excellent, Chris. Very good. Yeah, me too. Well, I think if you feel like you've said what you wanted to say, then we'll call it.
Sounds good. But yeah, I appreciate the conversation, and I just want to let everyone know, it's like I said, it's our past who makes us who we are today. Don't lose sight of things, and if you want something bad enough, anything's possible.
Very, very awesome. That's a good quote. That's a Chris Allen original,
Yeah.
everyone. Well, thanks so much for coming and talking to me. And yeah, I mean, if you ever think of anything new and you want to do another interview, I'm definitely down to do some more.
Sounds good, dude. Count me in on anything. If you ever want to do a group interview or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to help you.
Oh yeah, we need to get a group together soon.
Sounds good.
All right, Chris, have a good night, my friend.
All right, you take care. Bye.